listening to Unravel with Natly Denise.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Nightly with Natly, a segment of Unravel with Natly Denise. I forgot for like a pure second there. This is episode 83. Sorry, I don't know if you guys heard all that. I don't know when it turned off. I think it turned off just for a split second. This is episode 83. And I cannot even believe we're making it to 83 episodes. That's wild. It's wild sauce there. Guys, appreciate your support. I am so sorry about yesterday. I should have put a note out. I was out at dinner and I didn't expect for dinner to go that long, but it ended up being such a great night. We celebrated 𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘪𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝑀26 whistleblower. And it was so much fun. It was a lot of fun. I was just making sure it wasn't like heckler or anything like that. 𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬𝑁And we went to a nice restaurant in Houston, and the steak was amazing. It was really nice to get out because honestly, I don't get out a lot. And so I took the opportunity. I was like, yes, I'll be there. And I met a lot of great women in Houston. I was so blessed to have met them. So it was really, really cool. Really cool. And I had a great time. Again, I don't really get out too much, so it was nice to get out. With that being said, what else is going on? I don't have any events going on anytime soon. Okay. All right. Still working hard. Got to catch up on sleep tonight, though. All right, let's get to our start. We're going to start out with scripture as we have been starting out. Last time we finished off Psalms 7. We're going to do the same thing here with Psalms. Short enough. Maybe we'll just go through all of it. Psalms 8. All right, let's get ready for some word. Lord our God, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory in the heavens. Through the praise of children and infants, you have established a stronghold against your enemies to silence the foe and the avenger. So let's continue. Let's start off there with the first 3 verses. Lord our God, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory in the heavens, meaning he's higher than everything. His ways are higher. His ways of thinking is higher. His orchestration for your life plan is higher. You just don't see it. You know, we're all going through something right now. We're all like just set on what we see, but his ways are higher. His glory is higher. Through the praise of children and infants, you have established a stronghold against your enemy to silence the foe and the avenger. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have set in place, what is mankind that you are mindful of them, human beings that you care for them? Okay, so I dwell on this quite often. Like I think about this very thing quite often, how, despite our problems, despite what we see, the same entity, the same being that created the earth, created us, created the billions of people on this earth, regardless if they believe in him or not. He created absolutely everything, created the stars, hung the moon, hung the stars. He decides to walk with us. Imagine that for a second. This being who created since the very beginning of time, has always existed since the beginning of time, created the heavens and the earth and created you and decides you by name and walks with you. It's like when you think about that, despite the heavy fire that you're walking through, despite your trials, it's a great reminder that, he decides to pursue you. And I mean, that's honor. That's a big honor that he would pursue us, know us by name, and answer our prayers. You have made them a little lower than the angels. What is he talking about? What is mankind that you are mindful of them, human beings that you care for them? You have made them a little lower than angels and crowned them with glory and honor. You made them rulers over the works of your hands. You put everything under their feet, all flocks and herds and animals of the wild, the birds in the sky and the fish in the sea, all that swim the paths of the seas. Lord our God, how majestic is your name in all the earth. So this is nothing but a praise. There's no lament here. There's no lament here. This is all a praise here. Sometimes we just need a little praise, we just need to stand back, clear our heads of our problems for even a moment to meditate on how good God is. That's a reminder for me. I'm not speaking to you guys. I'm speaking to myself as well. Like sometimes we just need to step back and just give glory and give a praise for who God is, what God does, what he can do. So Psalm 8, great praise. Great praise. All right, let's pivot on to the news. Okay, so today, Evergreen, HRC made an appearance today. I made a video on it on my main YouTube channel, and I sort of did like a reaction video where I watched first of all, it started off with heckling and jeering and boos. There was a crowd there, a small crowd, but there was a crowd that met her right when she got out her car to go to the Democratic National Convention. And she got booed bad. It was bad. Then she went inside the convention, made her speech. Her speech was such a projection. I mean, talk about projection. Everything that basically we're persecuted for, she was talking about that as like a victimization of the Democratic Party, in which, like, if you've had any eyes to see this in the past couple years, or if you've been recently awakened, you've seen that what they've done. You've seen the Summer of Love, you've seen the censorship, the hoaxes repeatedly, the lies. I mean, we've seen it all. And she was really projecting off of that as if they were victims in the Democratic Party. And she also slandered Trump because, as you guys know, the Robert, oh my gosh, that's what Trump called him, John Durham. The John Durham investigation is starting to bear fruit. It's starting to come out with some findings. And these things were already hinted years ago. It was already hinted. But, I think now we're starting to roll out conclusively of what he's finding, which is nice in perspective because we've been waiting a long time. And so she was slandering Trump, saying like he was a corrupt president, and he fired back. So this is sort of a follow-up from my video earlier today. Trump fires back at Hillary Clinton after she laughs off of allegations she spied on his campaign. She says one of the most corrupt politicians to ever run for president. Or maybe he said that. This is coming from Daily Mail. Donald Trump has angrily responded to Hillary Clinton's dismissal of accusations her campaign spied on him, describing her as one of the most corrupt politicians to ever run for president and accusing her of having broken into the White House. So he says this. The latest twist in the 6-year drama has sparked a legal filing on Friday by John Durham, the Trump-appointed special counsel who has been investigating the origins of FBI's Trump-Russia inquiry. Durham, including in his filings previously known information about the Obama-era White House investigation into malware, which Trump supporters said it was evidence that Clinton campaign spied on her Republican rival. Clinton, 74, so they're saying, we were just looking at the data servers for malware. Clinton laughed off the anger among Trump supporters on Thursday in a speech at the New York Democratic Convention. Hours later, Trump sent out a furious press release demanding more coverage of the scandal. This is what it had to say. Crooked Hillary Clinton, one of the most corrupt politicians to ever run for president, can break into the White House, my apartment, buildings I own, and campaign. In other words, she can spy on a presidential candidate and ultimately the president of the United States, and now totally discredited fake news media does everything they can to not talk about it, Trump said. He also lashed out in a New York Attorney General, 𝘵𝘶 James, who is investigating the Trump Organization for tax issues. James on Thursday won a key battle in the case with a New York judge ruling that Trump and two of his adult children, Donald Trump and DJT Jr. and Ivanka, must comply with subpoenas that require them to answer questions under oath and turn over evidence. So this was one of my arguments earlier, is it's very funny timing that all of a sudden, when all of this is coming out with Durham, like all of a sudden he has to be subpoenaed to testify in court, right? It feels so convenient that all of a sudden HRC, all this information starts coming out, it's rolling out, right? And all of a sudden they're like, oh, but Trump, he has to testify now. So do his kids. Trump insisted there is no case. He added, the targeting of a president of the United States who got more votes while in office than any other president in history by far, and is a person that the radical left Democrats don't want to run again, represents an unconstitutional attack on our country, and the people will not allow this travesty of justice to happen. It is a continuation of the greatest witch hunt in history. And remember, I can't get a fair hearing in New York because of the hatred of me by judges and the judiciary. It is not possible. Earlier, Clinton claimed accusations in her campaign spied on Trump are a conspiracy. So yeah, she was trying to spin this as like, these are just conspiracy theories that you're seeing on the internet. This is not true. You know, all these things. She had a Vanity Fair, what are they called? Reporter, journalist, spin up some like crazy narrative that, oh, she didn't spy. And what's their justification? Oh, because, reasons. Because Durham didn't specifically verbalize that in any of his statements. But at the same time, it's like, can you not read information to corroborate it? Because I'm pretty sure it's implying something pretty heavy on Hillary. So anyway, if you're interested in what she had to say in that speech, the latter part of the speech, go to my video on my YouTube, youtube.com/Natly Denise. I pretty much play a lot of it and comment on it. So it is pretty interesting to watch because, I mean, she does seem a little bit shook, just a bit. All right, pivoting on to the next story. Canada, the Canadian convoy, still holding the line, still there. But since Castro has since activated emergency powers, he invoked emergency powers to do away with the convoy. This implies things like freezing bank accounts if they're either funding or receiving money to fund the convoy, freezing or suspending auto insurance. What else? I mean, I'm sure there's like a lot of other things that come with this. And now the cops are making arrests almost on the spot. Canadian cops arrest a second Freedom Convoy leader as Ottawa police create a fenced-in no-go zone in the center of the capital. Trudeau fights to keep his emergency powers alive. And many are actually arguing that he has nothing to constitute this abuse of power. Canadian police, they arrest two of the most high-profile leaders in the Freedom Convoy on Thursday evening, hours after Ottawa police warned protesters that they had to move their trucks from the center of the capital. Tamara Lich, widely seen as the main instigator of the protest, was detained on Thursday as night snow fell in Ottawa. She did not resist as she was handcuffed and calmly taken into a police patrol car. "Hold the line," she shouted as she was escorted away. A former fitness instructor who has sung and played guitar in a band called Blind Monday in Medicine Hat, Alberta, Lich, was also a senior member of the separatist group that advocated for Canada's western provinces to secede from the country. On Wednesday night, she posted a tearful video to YouTube telling her supporters that she expected to be arrested imminently. There's a pretty good chance, I think it's inevitable at this point, I'll probably be going somewhere tomorrow where I'll be getting 3 square meals a day, she said, and that's okay. I want you to know that I'm okay with that. I'll probably get some sleep, but please stay peaceful and know that this is too shall pass. There will be tomorrow, and we will get through this. A second leader, Chris Barber, was arrested hours before and is being held in custody and is expected to face criminal charges, CBC reported. Barber, a truck driver for the past 28 years who led the Saskatchewan portion of the protest convoy, has been in Ottawa for the last 3 weeks, was walking down the street with several friends when the police detained him. Footage posted on social media showed him being detained and smiling calmly as he was patted down and put in a patrol car. Call my wife, he said to a friend who was filming, and put it on a social media. So let me see if I can find some footage here, because I would like to. Here we go. What is this? Oh, a bathtub at the convoy? My goodness. Okay. I'm not sure that I'm going to find these articles are always so long. I don't understand. Just get to the point, Daily Mail. I mean, they have good information. Here we go. It's now here.
Hey guys. Just going to wait for a moment. Don't give in. You know, it's been an incredible experience here, and there's been a lot of joy and a lot of happiness. And so the tears that I cry aren't tears of sadness. They are tears that what has happened and what is transpiring against my fellow Canadians breaks my heart. It is breaking my heart. You guys, I just want you to stay strong. And I want you to continue to be unified and spread the love. You know, I have to ask you, I've seen people well, maybe not rightfully so. I can't tell you what to do. But you know, when you see the reporters in the streets, be kind and show them love. We don't have to agree with what they're doing.
I think that is a sufficient message. So it's getting intense up there. Lots of prayers for them, because I mean, this is just it is wow. I mean, I just can't believe the police state at this point. I forgot to turn off this. This light always makes my my footage like orange. All right, let's pivot on to the next story. Okay, so this is crazy. So there was a Super Bowl rally, and this footage is coming up just recently, but unlike the quarterback, team will cover female photographer's hospital bills after she fractured her spine when she fell off the stage in front of Matthew Stafford, who promptly turned his back. So this quarterback, he saw this woman who's a photographer fall off stage, and look, he just pivots. He just pivots and leaves. Look. So NFL photographer Kelly Smiley was seen on video walking backwards before falling off the stage outside the LA Memorial Coliseum, where the post-parade rally was held. Although she fell off screen, a group of concerned onlookers that included Stafford's wife, Kelly were seen rushing to Smiley's attention. Stafford himself was not one of them. Apparently, out of all the heroics, after leading the Rams on a game-winning 79-yard drive against the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday, Stafford said, "Oh my God," and did an immediate about face as Smiley plummeted to the ground. In a classless move, he then recreated the opposite direction. He retreated in the opposite direction while Kelly tried to help Smiley. So she fractured her spine. On Thursday, the LA Rams told dailymail.com in a statement, which was issued on behalf of the team and the Staffords, that the team has been in touch with Smiley since the incident. "We are sorry for what happened. As we told Kelly, we will be covering all her hospital bills and replacing her cameras. We wish her a speedy recovery," the team said. I mean, look at this. Look at this dude, yo. Look at this dude. Like, he sees her. Look, I mean, these dudes exist out there. Watch this. I mean, you can see that's a pretty high stage. Why does it always automatically flip? This is a pretty high stage. So you can see it there. It's a close-up. She falls absolutely off. And then she rushes out to go see her. See how big you see how far that is that she fell? Oh, she landed wrong. What a douchebag, dude. Like, how do you just like, I mean, oh my gosh, dude. This is a masculinity that we have left, you know, like people just running, people not helping out, not defending. Like and I'm not by no means like that. I'm not like a radical. You guys know I'm not like a radical leftist feminist, but there should be some form of chivalry left, you know? What a loser, dude. Oh, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. I just wish there was more chivalry out here. He just turned away. Look, I'm going to show it one more time. I'm just going to show it one more time. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. He saw her and then he just completely pivoted. And this is the young lady who fell off the stage. Her spine is fractured. I hope she gets recovered immediately. But take a look at this footage. Where did it go? I just had it. I literally just had it. Where did it go? Here it is. That's why. Okay, you guys see it? So photographer falls back off the stage. See how far that is? See how far that is? And the wife is over here like looking out. The guy just did a pivot turn and ran off stage. I mean, what a coward, yo. Honestly, like stuff like that needs to be called out. Like dudes on dudes need to call that out. Like that is so pathetic. That is so pathetic. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what status you have. Like that is so pathetic. The fact that somebody wouldn't like rush off stage to go help her, especially the man that saw her fall. Like, what's going through your head that you're that selfish? You know what I mean? That's horrible. All right. So this is gross news right here. Female Louisiana teacher, 36, pleads guilty to giving her junior high school students cupcakes laced with her husband's sperm. The couple faces 150 sex crime charges for abusing children. This is so gross. I mean, why would you do this? Why would you do this at all? This is so disgusting. Like, what thoughts go? People, like, humanity is just so debauched. I mean, debauchery everywhere. A Louisiana middle school teacher, and this is coming from the Daily Mail, will face a sentence of 41 years in prison after pleading guilty to a slew of sex crimes charges, including giving her students cupcakes laced with her then husband's sperm. Cynthia Perkins, 39 years old, accepted a plea deal on Monday, hours before jury selection was slated to begin for her trial, which resulted in the dismissal of 68 charges and agreement to testify with her ex-husband, disgraced Sheriff's Lieutenant Dennis Perkins. The former Westside Junior High School teacher has pleaded guilty to second-degree rape, producing child pornography, and conspiracy mingling of harmful substances. Cynthia and Dennis, both 46, were arrested in 2019 on more than 150 sex crimes charges, including sexually abusing a child together. Oh my gosh. These people are completely deranged. Prosecutors, I should have just included this in the Daily TrafficK. I didn't know it was going to get like this. Prosecutors told the Livingston Parish News they received the blessing from the juvenile victim's family to accept the plea deal, knowing that 40 years is a pretty long time in prison. They added that the 3 charges Perkins pleaded guilty to were representative of what she had done. Cynthia and Dennis were arrested in October of 2019 with authorities found a photo of the pair naked with a minor after receiving a tip from the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. Dennis, who was fired from the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office following his arrest, was indicted on 78 felony counts. Dennis had worked in the sheriff's office since 2002 and was ahead of the SWAT team when he was arrested. Cynthia, who resigned for her junior high school teaching job the day she was arrested, was hit with the 72 felony counts on the indictment. Oh, it's so gross. I mean, it looks to be that they liked to actually produce child sexual exploitation material, because it says at the bottom that her and her husband were basically conspiring with a little girl, grooming her with nude pictures of themselves. I mean, it's just how do you get to this point? You know, like this is normal, normalcy to you? It's crazy. All right. Pivoting on. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the Daily TrafficK, where I bring you the latest in human and sex trafficking news. Now, this is sort of breaking news. You're not going to see this quite yet because this is actually really fresh, but I'm going to break it on right now. I'm going to warn you that the language used in this video is very graphic. So please heed warning. If you want me to, I can play the whole video. It's about 5 minutes. Basically, this is a Facebook Meta community development director. He's a higher up, and he was there at that hotel to meet a 13-year-old boy to have sex with him. Now, again, this is very graphic. This is only 2 minutes because this is on my Twitter, but if you want to see the whole thing, you can let me know. It is about 5 minutes long, about 4.5 minutes long. I will do it. I will definitely do it. I will play it for you. But again, please just be aware that this is really graphic. So let's see what you guys have to say. Do you want the full video or just 2 minutes of it? Let me know in the comments below. Because it's bad. It's bad, guys. It's bad. This is a community, like they monitor the community standards on this platform. That's how bad this is. That's why it's like, it's full. Okay, you guys want the full. Okay. Let me remove. Edit. Let me actually share this. How do I delete? Stop screen. Stop screen. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Screen 2. Share. All right, here we go.
She said, dang, what are you trying to say? I don't make you horny? You said, not what I'm saying at all. So you're telling this 13-year-old boy that he makes you horny, correct?
Could be perceived as such, yes.
Oh, quit the bullshit, bro. I'm sick of your bullshit.
I mean,
Could be perceived as so. Maybe. I don't know. Quit the fucking bullshit.
Okay.
Oh, okay. What do you mean, okay?
Okay, well.
you said, you said that's not what I'm trying to say. He said, then what are you trying to say? Do you remember what you said after that?
I don't remember.
Because this statement right here is probably the most troubling out of everything. Even the one that you just sent me just now. This one, it resonates with me. You said, I won't have any restraint around you if I'm horny. What does that mean?
It means I was flirting. I was talking to him. Throughout all of this, I'll let you know there was never any intention of ever meeting up with him.
Okay.
Bro.
But you did set 2 meets with him.
That I never intended to go to or
But you set it
show
up.
up to.
Correct.
And I gave information, location, and all that stuff. Yes, it
And
can
how
be
did I
perceived as like,
find you? It's not like I just pulled this out of my ass.
it's true.
You gave the hotel and the hotel room.
Right.
So you set the meets.
In that, I was like, there's no way he's going to come here. So I knew there was no way of the meeting of it.
Okay.
And not that I met him if he even showed up here.
Why don't you think he would have shown up here?
Because he couldn't drive.
So you're okay with talking sexual online as long as you don't meet the children?
This is the one time I've done this.
The only time. Okay, so you are okay to talk sexual to 13-year-old Corey because you knew in your head that you would not meet up with him.
That was my rationale.
I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
It's not right. I
just want to
understand
hear.
that.
I just want to hear where your thinking is, because I just want to know. Like, I need to know why this conversation happened. Okay.
Okay.
So this whole time you were talking to Corey, you never once thought you would ever meet up with him.
Never.
Okay. You just continued to tell Corey that you would. You said, we'll make it happen.
Yes.
Okay. So again, you said, I won't have any restraint around you if I'm horny. He said, that's a good thing or not. You said, depends on who you ask. Sure does. Because if you fucking ask me, that's a big fucking problem.
That's right.
Huge. 13, you're 36. You're 2 years older than me. 13-year-old hit. Text me, I'd be like, ew, get the fuck off. Block.
100% sure.
I would never continue. I don't care how horny it was. But that makes me and you different. So we won't get into that. So again, you had some casual conversation. Casual, but at this point, it always goes back to sexual. You want to cuddle. That's what you want to do. You asked him. You said, he said, I like to be told what to do. You said, oh, I will, but you have to make the moves after cutters. Then you kind of stopped talking because you got busy at work, right? Another great time to stop talking to a 13-year-old. Yet there's still more to go. He asked you what you do. I am the head of a global community development for Meta. That's a pretty fucking good job, right? Huge, right? You make good money, right?
What was the title again?
I mean, what is your official title?
Manager of Community Development.
That's a nice job.
You make money?
Depends on who you ask. Better than I did in Indiana, yes.
Yeah, because now you live in Palm Springs, California.
6 figures?
You're making some money. You just bought a souped up Bronco, didn't you? You're making some money. Okay. So you keep talking, casual conversation. You tell them how you go to Asia, to travel. Another casual conversation, just fun, talking about eating, talk about Christmas break. So this is where we're leading up to, because you were coming home for Christmas, correct? And Corey was too. And so you guys talked about possibly meeting up, correct?
Correct.
Imagine that. He completely admitted it. Completely admitted it. I mean, I honestly, like, I saw that and I was like baffled that, I mean, how, you know, like you are a grown dude. This dude has a face. Yes. Oh, that's not the one I'm looking for. I'm learning about 501c3 taxes. Yeah, I'm honestly, he admitted to everything on camera. You know, this is a sick world, you guys. This is a community standards dude at Facebook. The Instagram people who make up the rules, who ding us for posting certain content. This is who this is. This is a different story that I have up, but Trim Trab said, WTF, dude, he really disclosed his profession and persisted to communicate with the kid. The insanity and ego. I know. Jilly, what's up, Jilly? The corporations only care if they get caught. That's right. Well, they got caught now. Yep. Were those detectives questioning them? No, see, I think actually they were vigilantes. I mean, the thing is, the system is just, the system isn't doing it. The system isn't getting these people. These are vigilantes, and I believe it was also vigilantes that got the Sony executive. They caught the Sony executive also doing the same thing, talking to what he thought a 13-year-old boy. But no, they were. I don't think they were detectives. So this is early on. This broke today. It's not in the mainstream yet. Again, I apologize for you having to hear the graphic language, but this is what they are after. You know, they're after the children and talking to them like that online. Horrendous. Moving on to the next story. Daily Mail. And again, let me just remind you what you just heard, that was a Facebook, Jared Miles, community development of Facebook, Meta, trying to meet a 13-year-old boy for, you know what, and admitted to everything. This is like this is an executive director type person at Facebook. All right. Moving on. SNL. Someone over in SNL is being accused. This is a pretty high level story as well. This is actually making the headlines. He abused me all over. A woman who accused a comedian Horatio Sanz of grooming her when she was 15 before sexually assaulting her age 17 at Saturday Night Live, the SNL show after party, claims that Jimmy Fallon was aware of their inappropriate relationship. I'm saying like there's like a lot of things coming out. A woman who is accused Saturday Night Live alum Horatio Sanz, last year of grooming and sexually assaulting her when she was a teenager, has claimed that some of the actor's crew and castmates, including Jimmy Fallon, were aware of the abuse but did nothing to stop it. In August of 2021, Sands' accuser, a Pennsylvania resident known by the pseudonym Jane Doe, filed a bombshell complaint against a comedian, claiming that he groped her breasts and touched her genitals in front of his colleagues during an SNL afterparty in 2002 when she was just 17 years old. Now the accuser has broken her silence in an explosive expose published by the Daily Beast. Sands' attorney, Andrew Brettler, at the time strongly denied the claims, calling them ludicrous and categorically false, and accused Jane Doe of making a failed attempt to extract a multi-million-dollar settlement. In details alleged in the history with Sands and SNL, her suspected abuse, which she said began when she was a teenage superfan of Fallon, when he was on the cast of the long-running comedy show. According to Jane Doe, others at NBC were aware of Sands' inappropriate relationship with her, which she said included public displays of affection, drinking alcohol with her at after parties attended by castmates and staffers. Horatio certainly is the main character here, but he didn't abuse me in a vacuum. He abused me all over Saturday Night Live, the woman told the publication. And I'm going to assume that this is Horatio. I don't know who this person is, to be honest with you, but if he's in the likes of these Hollywooders, DailyMail.com on Thursday reached out to NBC's representatives of SNL and Fallon and was told that the network cannot comment on legal matters. Doe said that she was 15 years old when she became part of SNL's nascent online community and created a fan page dedicated to Fallon, who was her favorite cast member. She said Fallon and his friend, office mate Sands, emailed her to thank her for her efforts. Flirtatious chats between Sands and the girl half his age followed, and before long, Jane Doe said she was attending cast after parties and after parties as Sands' guest. She claimed that many SNL staffers observed her drinking alcohol, was doing drugs at those events, despite her being underage at the time. She alleges in her lawsuit, which names Sands and the NBC as defendants, that the actor who would pull her towards his body, touch her buttocks, and full view of his colleagues. According to the plaintiffs, Jimmy Fallon, who currently hosts The Tonight Show, was aware of her age and even helped her prepare for the standardized aptitude tests. Her lawsuit alleged that Jane Doe told Fallon she was in high school as the two were sharing a plate of calamari. The comedian replied, "So you have a few years before you graduate." The complaint went on to say that the people seated at the table became very quiet when plaintiff disclosed that she was a junior in high school. At the same event, Jane Doe said Fallon introduced her to Lorne Michaels, an SNL's high-powered creator and producer. Doe's friend, who attended a cast party in 2001, said she witnessed a teen sitting in Sands and Fallon like they were pals, and Sands, who was 32 years old at the time, behaving like the girl's boyfriend. The friend identified the pseudonym as pseudonym Catherine, said the pair appeared cuddly and had their arms around each other. Catherine told Daily Beast that at another party, a famous SNL cast member rubbed her leg and called her beautiful, which startled her. She was 17 at the time. Another friend of Doe's, calling herself Melissa, told the publication that she believes that Sands may have been trying to groom her as well when she was 15 by sending her flirty messages and gifts, including tickets to events and steaks. Doe said that she aspired to work at SNL and was trying to impress Sands by looking and acting older than her at 16 years old. She says, "I felt like I've been sort of groomed by Horatio into thinking I was more mature than kids my age," she told the publication. "It was such a disgusting and warped thing for him to do." In May of 2002, the woman's lawsuit alleged that she was invited to a late-night party at the unnamed SNL cast member's apartment, which was filled with provocatively dressed women. As the two sat together, Jane Doe, then age 17, claimed that Sands groped her breasts and touched her genitals in front of several cast members and the NBC staffers, one of whom was quoted exclaiming, "Are you effing serious?" Later that night, the complaint alleged that Sands digitally penetrated Doe over her pantyhose. According to the alleged sexual assault, Jane Doe said that she was left feeling confused and angry when she confronted Sands, and he blamed her for the incident and later told her that Fallon didn't care that if she was a slut, as quoted. Just days after that comment, Jane Doe said that she shut down her fan page dedicated to Fallon, which she had spent 3 years on. Jane Doe told the Daily Beast that the most unsettling part of her ordeal is knowing that Fallon, Jimmy Fallon, who she idolized as a teen, witnessed her and Sands' interactions. I don't know how much of our conversations happened when he was in this office at NBC, which he shared with Jimmy Fallon, but I know that I deserve to know, she told the outlet. Through the attorney, Sands vehemently denied Jane Doe's allegations last year. Before filing a lawsuit anonymously, she demanded $7.5 million in exchange for her silence. Brettler told the actor's lawyer that we, of course, refuse and will vigorously contest these totally meritless claims. Doe's lawsuit claimed that because of her experiences that she became isolated from her peers even after enrolling in college and suffered shame and depression, eventually beginning to use dissociative drugs to an extent that she required hospitalization in 2005. While she was recovering, she said that she had a text message exchange with Sands, who was directed the conversation towards sex and was his habit. And he told her that she had a kick-A body as she was 17 years old. The two stayed in touch over the years. According to the lawsuit, Sands' interactions with her remains manipulative, degrading, insulting, abusive towards her. In 2019, the actor allegedly confided in Jane Doe that he had been pleasuring himself during their online chats when she was in high school. According to the complaint, Sands subsequently offered Doe a written apology, telling her in part, "If you want a Me Too, you have every right," referring to the Me Too movement. Wow. Despite admitting that what he did was wrong, according to Jane Doe, the comic also sought to downplay the alleged abuse, making it out with the 16-year-old girl as far from Kitty. I don't want to say that word. He was quoted, it's very derogatory. I don't want to say that word. He was quoted saying, allegedly stating, "Not appropriate, but Jesus, a kitty, you know what?" I don't want to say it. Jane Doe said that despite having chat logs from the early thousands documenting her conversations with Sands, her friends, witness accounts, and even Sands' alleged confession, the actor still has not been to account for his actions. Sands appeared on the NBC staple from 1998 to 2011 in recent years. He's been seen in films including Clifford, Zeroville, The Sex Addict, The Actors Anonymous, and TV shows such as Glow, Black Monday, Duncanville, and The Mandalorian. Wow. I don't recognize this guy. I guess I'd have to see him in costume, but I mean, cheese and crackers, man. And Jimmy Fallon may have known about this. But are we surprised? Really? Are we surprised? Let me see what you guys have to say in the comments. Oh, man. That's, keep a foot on SNL's neck, just tip of the shitberg. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, you heard it. This guy's been, I didn't even know this. I don't know. Maybe I didn't see it, but he's been acting since 1998 to 2011. I don't even remember this dude, but like, that's a long time for him to be preying on young women like that, you know? Like, I mean, also granted, like, this is a big lesson for anybody out there with children or grandchildren or nephews, nieces. You know, you really need to really keep account of like who they're talking to, what their friends look like, you know, what their friends' lives look like, all these things, because you just never know when situations like this are happening. And of course, you know, when you're young, you do stupid things. And you know, I could never attribute a full blame on a victim, especially when they're underage, because like, again, their frontal lobe cortex is just not developed enough. And so they do make dumb decisions, you know. But these are some full-fledged adults that were allowing this to happen. So they ought to be held accountable, especially that they're in the public light like that. All right. 3 South Carolina men. This is coming from WYFF4. 3 South Carolina men arrested on 23 total child sex abuse material charges, AG says. 3 upstate men have been arrested on child sex abuse material charges, according to South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson. He announced that Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force investigators with the Greenville County Sheriff's Office made arrests in the unrelated cases, Wilson said. Wilson said that the investigators with the Attorney General's office, also a member of the state's ICAC task force, assisted with these investigations. Wilson said that investigators received cyber tip line reports from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which led them to all 3 men. Investigators stated both Trotter and Stoddard distributed multiple files of child sexual abuse material, and Hansen possessed child sexual abuse material. So they have been charged each respectively. This is their mugshot, just so you guys have a view. Horrible. All right. And then coming from Fox 13, a man charged with child sexual exploitation while working as a basketball coach, FBI says. In Memphis, Tennessee, the FBI has arrested a Tennessee man accused of child exploitation while working as a basketball coach. On January 28th, FBI special agents from the Jackson Field office in Mississippi, working together with agents in Memphis Field office, arrested Andreas T. Shannon in Dixon, Tennessee. According to a release from the Department of Justice, Shannon, 41, of the Savannah, Tennessee, was arrested based on an allegation made in a complaint filed in federal court by the FBI. The complaint alleges that Shannon was acting as a basketball coach when he allegedly transported a minor female. He coached around the state lines between Mississippi and Tennessee to engage in sex acts. He's also accused of extorting and cyberstalking the victim when she became an adult, the release said. Shannon made his initial appearance in the United States District Court for the Middle District of Tennessee in Columbia, Tennessee on January 28th, and was subsequently extradited to Oxford, Mississippi. On February 14th, he appeared at U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Mississippi for a detention hearing. According to the release, he was released on bond with a number of special conditions, including home confinement and electronic monitoring. Individuals with information concerning this investigation are encouraged to contact the FBI at 601-948-5000. That's a sick world. Again, we just come across new stories every single day. Horrible. All right, guys, we have exhausted our time here on Nightly with Natly. What's up to all the new people that showed up throughout the chat, throughout the broadcast? I really appreciate your support. Guys, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, take that share link and share it with other people in your chats, Telegram, Instagram. If you're listening to this on podcast, please rate it 5 stars. Really appreciate your support there as well. I will catch you guys tomorrow in another episode. I hope you guys have a restful night, or if you're listening to me in the morning, a great day. I love you guys, and thank you again for your support and being interested in this type of information. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Sleep easy. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Unravel with Natly Denise. Please give this podcast 5 stars.